We're live. We're doing it live. 3 minutes early. May not be able to see me, but you can see this beautiful sky.
I'll be back. I'm coming.
Amy's over there walking the dogs. See if anybody shows up. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Hopefully our quality's good. Hello. Looks like we got one person in here. Or that's just me. Let's see if we can get a couple more people in here before we get.
That's three.
Good. Whichever side you want. I'll slide this over here.
Getting all the dogs situated.
Let's get it this way. Get in probably close.
All right. We're here.
We did it. There may be one person in here. We're not sure.
Maybe, huh?
We haven't done a live stream in a long time,
We
so
haven't.
we've lost all of our friends.
Nobody loves us.
We don't have any friends anymore.
We just have chickens.
We have 300 subscribers.
There's someone out there. Someone's there. Hi,
Oh,
John.
it's John Elliott. Hey, I didn't even see that. How are you doing? Long time no see. I'm looking a little scruffy.
Didn't get around to that haircut today, did we?
Mm-mm. Or this month.
Or last month?
Or last month, probably. It's all right.
Who cares?
I don't come here for my beauty.
Mm-mm.
I come here for my brains.
That must be what it is.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, we're sitting out here outside. It's cooled off a bit. It was supposed to storm at like 5, but it never did, like normal.
Yeah, so you can see behind us, that's usually where the storm clouds come from, but they always split because we're up on this hill. And for some reason, the rain likes to come in and just split into two storms and go right around us. So.
But we're sitting out, this netting behind me is our chicken netting. We got our chickens right there.
Yeah, I'll show you our chickens.
Nice one out to say hi a little bit.
Yeah, well, I haven't done a video on our chickens since they were chicks, babies.
Yeah.
But they're how old now?
Like 4 months.
4 months.
So they'll be hopefully starting to lay eggs next month. So a month from now we'll get them.
Yeah, we have 18 of them total after the initial deaths of some of the baby ones. Once we got that far in, we have 18 left over. What are we, about 26 total, I think?
I don't even want to know. What was it? 20. I don't even remember what we started with, and then we started with
Well, we bought 15.
And then there's a free one that came with it.
And
so
a free
16.
one, so 16. And then 6 of those died,
Mm-hmm.
which left us with 10. And then we got 10 more.
10 more.
And I guess 2 of those died, or 2, maybe one of the other ones died.
Yeah, something like that.
And then one of them had a crooked beak, and I had to call it because it couldn't eat. And so, but those were all from the original. I don't think any of the ones we got.
No, none of the new ones.
None of the new ones
went. Even that the one with the crooked beak was one of the originals. So
right. Yeah, it's it is what it is. You're just trying to keep as many as you can alive. But ever since that first amount, we haven't lost any chickens. So no predators, no diseases that we're aware of.
We need to find some wood to knock on.
Knock on something.
Yeah, we put them outside at 5 weeks. And that was scary because the first night they're in this netting, right? The bottom netting's a little bit closer together. But that first evening we put them out there, they didn't understand. And they were running all through it. We were playing catch the chicken for like 3 hours.
Yeah, they were probably a little too small, but we wanted to get them out of the house.
They had to be out. It was too much.
Well, yeah, if they jump up to the top. But mostly now they're flying over. We need to clip their wings. But can you guys hear us okay? Is it laggy? I brought my T-Mobile hotspot out here. So we don't know whether it's going to be good service or not.
Yeah. Hope it sounds all right.
Yeah, usually it's better upload than download. So, hey, Cheryl.
Whiskeys.
But yeah, they've been doing good though. They just eat a lot, and they're not laying eggs yet, but they're probably a month out or so.
I'm ready for them to start earning their keep.
Yeah. Recouping a little bit of their keep. They they just eat and take up space. But we've been running them around the yard actually. We haven't even put them up by the garden yet. So our other plan with them is once we're done with our garden, which we were intending to put this in the garden. Right there. Oh, yeah, cute. We were intending to do this from our garden, but we just got kind of behind schedule and decided to do it out here by the chicken coop. But once we're done with the garden, we will be putting the chickens on the garden and letting them forage and everything. So pretty excited to have chickens here. And really looking forward to those eggs.
Yeah, they've been doing garden cleanup for us now, at least. All the extra vegetables I don't get to in time or scraps from canning, I just feed them pretty much every day. They get, a bowl this big of stuff I've chopped down for them. So
yeah, tomato
I
scraps.
love it. All sorts of tomato skins, doing all those tomatoes now. So I think that's their favorite, and corn and peas. So
they love peas. They really do love peas.
That was their first garden scraps, really. You got something to say.
But yeah, this is our 300 subscribers we just passed, and it looks like we might actually stay there.
We're at like 302 right now.
Yeah, 302.
YouTube likes to take 1 or 2 away from us every couple days.
Yeah,
just for fun.
You can never be sure, so we had to let it sit there marinate for a day or so, because YouTube will take them away. But yeah, 300.
Chicken fertilizer in the garden.
Did you watch Back to Eden?
Yeah.
Yeah, we last year, of course, last year was our first year actually in our garden. We built it last year, but we bought chicken litter and sawdust and cow manure, and we mixed all that together on our first 2 beds, and it actually worked out pretty well. The chicken litter was pretty hot still, but we mixed it in just a couple weeks before and tilled it into the soil really well, And the difference between the soil last year and this year was night and day on those first two plots. Just much, it's pretty heavy clay, so it's pretty easily compacted, especially when it rains. It just becomes hard as a rock, and hard to dig down into. But in those first two beds, since we did that last year, you would just kind of sink in the soil, at least for 4 or 5 inches, which is a lot better than it was last year. So
yeah, and it's still doing well, like from last year.
Yeah, we didn't add any other amendments to it this year. We just used it again, and it's growing just fine. We're in Virginia, in central Virginia, so 7B, zone 7B. But yeah, so it's been pretty good this year. We've had a little bit different garden this year than we had last year. Last year we had so much squash we didn't know what to do with it. This year we've had a lot of disease with our squash plants.
It's and squash bugs and
squash bugs.
Yeah, it's just going crazy.
We knew we were going to have squash bugs because we had a bunch last year. But
yeah, last year was the year of the squash. It was like over 100 pounds of squash, and this year is not the year of the squash. We had a whole row planted, and before I think 2 of the zucchini started like putting off fruit that we could get. And then after that, they just died. Like every day, it was a new one dead in the row.
They got just big enough to produce fruit and then died.
So we have one full-size squash plant out there now. And honestly, one is enough for us at a time. Because like tonight, the squash I made, that was one squash I cut up for dinner. So, and I've got 3, 4 more squash in there right now. And I don't even know what's on the plant.
There's at least one more on there that probably picked tonight. Yeah, if you're not, you really only need 1 or 2 squash plants, and that's about it. Oh, here's Zach.
Oh, hey, Zach.
Like your new channel.
Looks channel name.
Your setup's pretty nice.
Got a lot of DVDs, or not DVDs, Blu-rays. Sorry, Blu-rays.
DVDs.
I know.
How old are you?
So 2000s. Just keep hearing they're up there. You can't see them. They're up there. You guys see them on top of the coop? They think they're so cool.
Yeah. Good news is if they do get out, they always try to get back in. So
they're like, "Oh crap! I didn't mean to be away from my friends."
They're like, "This is dangerous out here," and we're like, "Yes, it is." So we haven't lost any.
It's just crazy.
But there's all different kinds. We have at least 5 cinnamon queens. So what we did when we bought from Murray McMurray Hatchery. And again, we didn't really have very good success with it, but it may have been some of our fault too, being new to it. But we got their variety pack. So it's just, 15 random chickens and an extra 16 random chickens.
Well, it was a colorful layer blend. So it was meant to be white, brown, and then like blue, green. So we'll see what we end up with of the ones that survived from them. So
we don't know what we have, honestly, for half of them, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we know which ones are the Americanas. Those are pretty easy to see, and the other ones we're trying to figure out. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what chickens are until they're full grown, and then you can identify the breed a little bit better because they change so much in coloring and their physical characteristics. So,
and we believe that there's one black Australian Australorp.
Yeah,
we are pretty sure that it's an Australian Australorp.
Yeah, we'll bring her out.
Yeah, she's the most friendly of all of them. Yeah, she's
her buddy. Get her.
Yeah, see if you can bring her over here. But yeah, we move them around every few days or so. Give them a new plot.
Right, go chase the chicken.
Oh boy.
Come here, Crystal. They got their food over.
Oh, did they? They'll eat it.
Come on. Let's go say hi to our friends. Here we go.
She pretends like she doesn't want to be caught, but she does.
She does. She likes it. Can you come see our friends? Look.
I don't know if you can see her.
No, Crystal. She's very pretty. It probably won't show up on camera, but she's mostly black and she's got like blue feathers too. And then a little round chest. So she's a sweet girl.
Yep, she's a good chicken.
And she comes right up to us and sits next to us and doesn't fight and lets you pick her up and just hang out with her. Of course, I'm wearing a black shirt, so you can't probably hardly see
You
her
really
at all.
can't see her from here. This light's not so great either.
Yeah. Crystal, what's happening? There she is.
Say hi. Say hi to the world. What is going
Her
on?
internet debut.
What is happening?
And she was one of the originals.
Yeah.
One of the original chickies. What do you see? Anything good?
Crop's full.
Yep.
Been eating.
Sure they have been. I gave them a whole thing of food while you guys were gone. With the chicken. Not the chicken. I didn't give you chicken. The tomatoes.
We're not above giving you chicken though.
Mm-mm. I did try that a couple weeks back. We had a rotisserie chicken and I put it out there to see if they'd eat it. Because apparently they do love some chicken. They don't know it's chicken and they don't care.
Yeah, they're little dinosaurs.
Yep.
It's just me holding your feet. You're okay.
She ain't fussing or
No, she's a good chicken.
trying to run away or nothing. But yeah, this is our first time with chickens. There's a lot of things that we've gotten to know about them that we didn't know at all. Like how weird their feet feel. And weird little toes. I'm sorry.
Will you leave her toes alone?
I'm sorry.
Jeez Louise. Oh, she's scratching me.
Do you need me to put her back?
She's trying to climb back up.
Yeah. Like, I need to feel safe. Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Inch up. Couple people every week. We really haven't been on as much as we've meant to be. There's been a lot going on and staying busy with the garden and really getting overwhelmed with the heat too.
Yeah.
So
It's been pretty hot lately, but
between making videos and also being able to watch other people's stuff.
yeah, we had a pause there last year at the end of the year when my back got hurt and we kind of stopped making videos, and then we started making a few, but we've been taking our time with them, not trying to pump out tons of videos. We just did some potato picking videos, which were good.
Yeah, really told him earlier, so we're the potato kings this year. I think we're at probably over 500
I think it was
pounds.
over 500. It was almost
Yeah.
like 550 pounds of potatoes.
So I'm starting the potato cooking job.
Yep.
Every meal gets potatoes, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, we're eating potatoes every meal.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be eating potatoes every meal, I think, forever.
Well, we got enough for the next year.
All right. I think she's ready to go back.
Someone's shooting out there. Come here. And we did something fun with the potatoes.
I think it was either sweat or
I think that's sweat.
chicken poop.
We
Yeah,
decided,
thanks for coming. Make this go viral.
yeah, we decided to plant more potatoes after we pulled all of our potatoes. So we had an extra space and nothing we were planning to do with it, and we had a couple of potatoes we weren't planning on eating. So
yeah, I don't know that you can have too many potatoes.
Yeah.
You can have too much squash, but I'm not sure about too many potatoes.
yeah, we just got to get them all used up before they
Potatoes
start to go bad.
can, you can eat potatoes
Bye-bye.
12 meals a day.
12 meals.
Yeah,
Are
12
you a
meals.
hobbit?
12 small meals. Yeah, we're hobbits. You know, you carry a potato around, just snack on it.
Snack and
The dog likes
Mm-hmm.
potatoes. She likes
She
anything.
likes squash, for sure.
But yeah, we gotta prepare them all, and that's a lot of work too, especially for Amy here.
Yeah. We started the process of sorting them and putting them in bags, and they're down in our cellar right now, which isn't an ideal place for them, but it's the closest we have. So we just gotta get to eating them right away, and then start figuring out how we need to freeze them, try canning them, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna freeze a bunch.
oh, the stream began over again.
Really? Oh, you
know.
got backed up. Are you live now? I think we're 21 minutes in on our side.
Yeah. Which I do. I have a hard stop at 8:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I have an appointment
Oh, you got plans, huh?
in the garden.
Hmm.
I haven't been out there yet. And I have seedlings that need to be watered today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, we'll probably cut it off at 8:30.
Mhm.
A good hour stream is probably good. But yeah. What else is new? What else have we changed? We got a lot of watermelons growing.
yeah, we have a whole. It's basically a 40 by 50 foot patch of watermelons and pumpkins and winter squash. And it's our first time growing winter squash at all. And like our second or third time trying to grow pumpkins and watermelons, depending on the kind. And our first time successfully growing them.
Yep, so far.
So we'll see what we get. There's a lot of stuff out in that plot.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can bring it to maturity without the plants dying.
I feel pretty good about the watermelons. The squash, I'm not as sure about because of
the squash bugs.
disease and squash bugs.
Squash bugs are crazy.
I say
all
squash, the
over
pumpkins.
Yeah.
But the squash bugs all attack pumpkins as well.
Are pumpkins technically part of like the winter squash family? Like loosely, I would consider
I think
them all
so.
the
Are they
same.
all cucurbits?
Yeah.
No, just
Let's different species, right? So
I think.
possibly. You're gonna have to read.
Thanks,
these things I
Jamie's
can't
Country
read.
Living. Appreciate it. Yeah. It takes a while to get there. It's funny because this is not a race for us at all.
Mm-mm.
But we went from 200 to 300 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because
everyone liked our cattle panel trellis video.
Yeah, our cattle panel trellis.
They just love it.
We got more views on that than our entire channel has ever had on that one video.
Mm-hmm.
Just randomly.
Yep.
People love cattle panel trellises. Yeah, we're doing good, Jamie. Appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely takes time too. I mean, I think if we were a little more consistent, but again, we would rather it grow organically than fast, and we're not that worried about it. This is just kind of a side fun thing for us to document our lives a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and give people.
Well, and honestly, for us, like we used it as such a big reference point over the winter.
Oh yeah.
And then as the months progressed to see, okay, we were at this point and these things were growing at this date last year, and see how it's growing. I've even already done that with like the garden updates this year, to look at it and you'll see, the watermelon plants are this big and now they're covering everything and you can't see the ground. So it's good to see that progression, because you forget how much stuff grows. You really, really do. So even if you have no interest at all in having a channel and having videos, just do it for yourself, whether it's videos or pictures, because I think it's been extremely useful to us. So, whether it's like logically remembering, okay, I don't need this many squash plants, or just like You know how sometimes you plant things, and we do a lot of like direct seeding too. And you put stuff in the ground, at least I do. I don't think you do this as much, but then I second guess myself. I'm like, oh, this is never going to grow. And then I look at the video from last year. I'm like, oh, yeah, I had 700 pounds of green beans. I'm fine. So, like, this is going to work out. So,
well, I don't know. I'm a little bit more, it actually goes to kind of Cheryl's question where she says, do you plant by the moon on the Farmer's Almanac?
no.
There's not a huge rhyme or reason as to how we plant.
We plant when we can.
We plant when we can. We obviously, we have our frost dates in mind, and then it's pretty much whenever we can. We don't live too far south or too far north, so we have a decent season. I think it's like 180 days growing,
and we're right about halfway right now.
Yeah, and so we can plant things late and still get them. We're not trying to necessarily fit in 2 plantings in a season all the time.
No.
So if we get it in the ground and the ground is warm, generally we're okay. I mean, obviously there's some cool weather stuff that we plant early to try to get in before the heat, which we did a really good job this year with broccoli. Was our best cool season crop.
Yeah. Well, and that's something I need to get on like this week is I need to get some seeds started for broccoli and cabbage
for the fall. Yep.
So that they can be ready to go in the ground and grow enough before the frost. And we need to decide if we're going to try carrots again or just give up on them.
So we
and garlic.
We need to work on the seed bed in our garden, because our garden was a hayfield for the last, 50 plus years. So the grass seed bed in these fields is really, really strong. And the soil's not really good enough for us. And let me put it this way. The soil's not necessarily good enough for us to direct seed without doing any tilling. If we did no till and we added a bunch of compost, it would cost us more money than we could have with the size that we're talking about. So we go with tilling and then dealing with the weeds as we go. And
we're still, we brought in a dump truck of compost this year. Yeah. And that didn't even make it through 2 beds.
Yeah.
So.
Because, we're actually 52 by 40 foot beds. So we're getting up towards 10,000 square feet in our garden. And honestly, that's too much. I'm just going to be honest. That's way too much for us to handle. But I'd rather have a little bit more than I can handle than even underdoing it personally. I just like to kind of push myself to the limit and figure out where that limit is. Hey, Homestead Aquarius, how are you? But yeah, we have, we just tarped over our 4th bed where we put our potatoes and our winter vegetables just to kill the weed bed back and give us some time.
No matter what, we cannot think of that plot, that one bed, as a failure, because between the potatoes and the cabbage and the broccoli and everything else we pulled out of there, we're at almost 600 pounds of stuff that we pulled up
from that,
which is what we did last year and everything.
Right.
So.
So. We've got a lot to go to. We've still got a ton of tomatoes. Tomatoes are really starting to produce and ripen, so we can actually get some tomatoes off of it. And
my big push has been to get everything preserved and put up and start using it, because last year I wasn't here full time, so I was up here on the weekends pulling weeds, picking vegetables, and then trying to get some canning done.
Right.
And there was so much that we just ended up having to put in the freezer, that now is a lot of chicken food.
Yeah, a lot of it's still in the freezer.
So now we're really trying to, it's like every day we put up a 6-foot wire shelf in the kitchen just so that I can keep all my candy or some of my canning jars. And then all the produce that comes in. I've got one shelf that's just tomatoes, one shelf that's right now cucumbers and squash and okra and peppers. So
yeah, we got a couple small buckets of okra. Our okra is about to start producing like crazy too. One thing that's interesting with our okra this year is I kept the seeds from last year, and we planted, I think, 4 different varieties last year, and some of them were a rainbow mix. And I believe we got some good cross pollination because the seeds I pulled from the same plant, but they varied a little bit. So some of them, it was all a Clemson spineless okra.
So we have some like red okra.
We've got some red ones. We've got some red ones. It's almost like every variety we have. We have red ones that are a little shorter, like the other varieties were. They're long red ones. We've got some that have the ridges around them and some that don't. It's pretty interesting to see.
So what are the smooth ones? The velvet, green velvet or something?
Yeah, I think of green velvet or something like that. Louisiana green velvet, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting a variety of okra from the same exact plants because they pollinated.
Yeah, and Danny has a problem with volunteer plants. I'm pretty ruthless. If a plant has come up where it's not supposed to be, it's a weed. If Danny sees an okra plant come up in the middle of the watermelon patch, or watermelon, that's a whole nother problem.
Or watermelon in the middle of the corn patch.
Yeah, well, let's see where that's gotten us. So now we've got like 5 or 6 random okra plants just in random parts of the garden.
They're not hurting anything.
So they're hurting me.
No, they're growing food.
Okay.
And they came up on their own. And that was one thing that actually was good for us when we talk about when we were planting. I knew when to plant my okra because the okra that we planted last year that had fell on the ground started sprouting. So I was like, oh, look, nature just told me what time it's time to go ahead and plant okra. Clearly the soil was warm enough
to germinate, right?
So, but yeah, we got a ton of volunteer okra from last year. Because last year was insane. Our garden's growing a little bit slower, probably in a better way this year. Last year, I think we had too much nitrogen on it, and everything just blew up, and maybe overgrew a little bit. This year, it's kind of growing at a more reasonable pace.
Well, there's also a lot of things that we're being a bit more controlled about, too, like cucumbers, for instance.
Yeah.
Last year, we did a 40-foot row of cucumbers. This year, I did a 10-foot row of cucumbers. So, and I've already canned over 40 cans of pickles, 40 jars of pickles. So, and I actually just tore out all of those cucumber plants. They still looked nice and healthy, but I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed like when the cucumber plants get older, they start to get a little more bitter, and they also start being really weird shaped.
Yeah.
Which I know is sometimes an issue with pollination, but I think it's also just like the age of the plant. But I last year we had like one good month, maybe 5 weeks of like good cucumber production, and we've hit that point now. So I'd rather pull it out and plant some new stuff. So I give myself a break from canning all of that, and then get a new flush, like in the early fall.
Right.
So I'd rather do it more controlled, a little bit at a time, than everything all at once. So
yeah, being a little bit more reasonable with the garden.
Because no one needs 50 pounds of cucumbers a day, and that's what we were picking.
Right.
So
I mean, somebody needs it.
Somebody does, but not just us.
Yeah.
So
we wouldn't know who to give it away to. We've we keep asking. I guess the things we grow, our neighbors don't really like that much. It seems like, I don't know. We grow weird stuff too. I mean, okra is weird to a lot of people.
We're in Virginia. It's not like we're in New York.
I don't care, but they still don't like okra. They still don't like it.
I'll tell you about that. They'll want my pumpkins come fall.
Probably.
So.
Yeah. Everybody wants tomatoes though. They love tomatoes here in Virginia.
And corn.
Yeah. But yeah, we grow a lot of weird stuff. I think are enjoying growing. Let's get this sunset in here. Ambiance. But we're enjoying growing odd things sometimes, but I think we're getting to where we're saying, okay, now that we've
We're
known
finding
what,
our set plants.
yeah, what we can grow versus what we really like versus what we like growing, you know, because yeah, sorry. Yeah, like, you know, we've grown radishes the last couple of years and we do enjoy growing them because the first thing you put in the ground, they grow super fast.
Yep, it's a great quick return, but even the chickens don't like them.
But how many radishes am I going to eat as a human?
2.
Probably 2. Probably.
That's it.
So
we didn't even count those in our weight or like whatever.
Yeah, we didn't even count them in a weight.
I think it's like 20 pounds worth of radish.
They're like, you know what? We're really not eating these. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should, cut back on it.
I love growing weird stuff.
Yeah, we enjoy it. It's just, I would rather now do a whole plot of potatoes because I know that we'll eat potatoes. I think we're simplifying our stuff.
Well, and I think for us,
the sun got bright.
Yeah, it really did. For us, what we've been doing is really identifying what we like. Yeah, just put your head over the sun.
Okay. Is this what we're doing?
No.
There. There.
Like You're just gonna lean. We gotta lean more. No, we're good. Yeah. We're identifying what we like, and then we're trying to figure out how we can eliminate that from our grocery bill. Like, we like mashed potatoes. We like baked potatoes. We like French fries. Okay, let's grow all the potatoes.
I don't think there's a way you can make a potato I don't like.
We like tomato sauce. We like ketchup. Yeah. All right.
We don't like slicing tomatoes. Neither one of us are big fans of slicing tomatoes.
Although I haven't told you. Don't look at me like that when I say I haven't told you something. So I've done like 3 batches of different canning tomatoes. I did like salsa and then just pasta sauce. Every time I'm making them now, I'm making myself eat some.
Oh, okay.
Because I hate tomatoes, but I really want to like them. So, and I haven't gagged. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, so we don't have a steak tree either, but we are growing chicken nugget vines. Yes. Them little suckers over there, they're walking chicken nugget vines. Eventually, maybe. We're starting out with our egg layers, but we are going to do some meat birds at some point in time.
Yeah, maybe we'll try it next spring, do a small batch.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, we're trying to limit ourselves to one new type of animal a year. I think even though it's still a chicken, meat birds are different.
It's a whole new ball game there. So is that the slogan? What's the weirdest thing you grow? I know. What's on the trellis right now?
Oh, loofah. Loofah is weird for us. Yeah.
It was our first year growing loofah. Well, we should do an update video again. Maybe this week we'll do one. So we've got that 2 30-foot arch trellises, and on one of them we've got a small portion that was cucumbers, and then the rest of it, so like 20 feet worth, is loofah that we planted. So I think I planted 8 plants in there.
Yeah.
And it's completely gone up and over that trellis now. And we've got, I counted the other day, I think it's somewhere between 40 and 50 loofah that are on there. Yeah. So, and some are really, really good size.
Yeah, so, they're pretty big. I mean, I know nothing about loofah.
It's my first
I didn't even know it was a real thing until like last year. Yeah. I thought it was just the name of this fake artificial like sponge that you wash with.
But talk about another thing that you can eliminate yourself from having to buy. Yeah. If those actually grow enough and before the frost, because it's a really long-term vegetable. It is a vegetable if you eat it small enough. Then
it's a washcloth,
right?
If you keep it long.
It's a washcloth. It's a dishcloth or a dish scrubber. So,
yeah.
And then what's another weird thing we tried?
Kohlrabi.
Kohlrabi's weird, but cool.
Yeah.
It's neat.
We'd never grown that before.
Yeah.
We did get some. The plants, several of them just never produced. They just produced a ton of foliage, but never produced any actual, I guess, vegetable. It's not really a fruit. It's a vegetable part of it.
An artichoke. We did 6 artichoke plants. They're all still alive, but they really haven't put on much growth. I thought they would because it's been so hot, and I thought that's what they liked. Again, first time growing it, but they're all still alive, so
Yep.
we can go from there.
Yep.
See what
We got
comes
a lot
up.
of just a few weird things. Those are a
Yeah.
few things we have not grown before
Yeah.
that we just chose to throw in this year.
And we've done like strange varieties of what we consider normal things, like strange varieties of okra and beans and things like that. But we really kind of set into where we have our favorite. Like we always like Clemson spineless okra. So why are we gonna go and buy all these different varieties? I mean,
Yeah.
there's sometimes where you want to have fun, but you can't have fun with everything when it's so big. So like green beans and like bush beans and pole beans. I've realized I don't really like pole beans that much. I like bush beans. And there's a lot of varieties of bush beans that I don't like. I pretty much just like jade bush beans. So that's all we planted this year. And
Well,
we canned like 20 quarts. So
the other thing that's a little different this year too is, there's things going on in the world where we were like, well, if food prices increase the way that they've been increasing, it's best to have more of what you really like than maybe have this be an experimental year. We did definitely do some experiments still. We have a large enough garden to do that, but we said, well, instead of doing 12 different types of beans to see which ones we like, let's just do the jade bush beans because that's what we did last year. We love it.
Yeah, this will be what I know I can fill my pantry up with a year's worth of green beans that I enjoy. So it works for us.
Yeah.
We're growing a couple new varieties of tomatoes. I couldn't tell you what they are off the top of my head. They're nothing crazy, but just new ones each year to see. But still 75% of the tomatoes I planted are paste tomatoes because that's pretty much what we're going to use them for.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Get a read. Yep. Yeah, beans are good, and we are planting some black-eyed peas too.
Yeah, we got some black-eyed peas.
So they're doing great.
Getting pretty close to being ready.
Yeah.
And what we're actually doing, so we made all these different plots, and we made some for flowers. So another thing Amy did this year was a ton of different flowers. And but some of the rows we don't have flowers in. So like on the first row, we just went in and just threw some bush beans in there. Just as kind of a cover for those holes so that it wouldn't be weeds.
As cover crops that are useful. So.
And, since beans are nitrogen fixers and stuff too, so it's good. But yeah, it's just, we could probably do with half of our garden.
Are.
Well, we pretty much are at this point.
Now that the potatoes are up.
Yeah. We could
half
probably
of it's going to be turped. So.
Because if you, pull up the beans when they're really not producing that much anymore and replant them before the pest pressure comes in, at least for us, we could get probably 3 or 4 different, successions of beans and just have beans all year long. Yeah.
So we've done one row as a 50-foot row. 40-foot row. 40-foot row.
42-foot row.
Okay, 42-foot row with marigolds on both ends.
Okay. Row, yeah.
And there's about we have the weed fabric, and I have the holes put in every 9 inches. So there's about 150 plants in a 40-foot row of that spacing. So we did 150 jade bush beans, and we went through and we picked them all, and that got us about half a bushel. And then like a week later, you did just like a light picking. And then a couple of days later, we just went and he cut all of the bean plants off at the base because we weren't noticing too many more flowers. And we'd rather flip that row for something else than just to kind of sit and wait. So we just sat in the grass at the end and picked the beans off the plants, and we're done with it. So all in all, that one row got us almost a whole bushel.
Yeah.
So, and then now we've got another one going. So between those two, we'll have enough for the year.
How many pounds do we have so far, do you think, total?
I don't know.
I'd have to look.
So we need a spreadsheet.
Yeah, I had a spreadsheet last year, and I just have not kept up with it this year.
What I've been doing is taking, at least every time I can remember, is just taking a picture of the weight on a scale right before I can it. So,
Well, we think we're at about 550 pounds of potatoes.
Yeah.
We're probably another 100 plus
I would
pounds.
say about 750
Yeah,
pounds.
somewhere around in there.
So,
Quite a bit.
and tomatoes are just now starting to come on.
Tomatoes are just starting to come on, and then we're going to hit we've got watermelons and pumpkins this year. So
winter squash, and there are hundreds of them there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of squash, especially winter squashes.
Everywhere I look.
Tons. We're going to do a video, probably that might be one of our next videos about just showing our watermelons and pumpkins and stuff. So
they've totally taken over. They've got that whole plot, and they're creeping out everywhere. You had to mow over them earlier.
Yeah.
I keep pushing them, and then they're like cutting them back because they're trying to take over my trellis too. So. Yeah, we will. That's I've been taking pictures to document it. So once I get my spreadsheet, I'll be able to enter it in.
Yeah, we started off. We didn't even keep track of some of the first things because we really weren't eating them.
Stuff we didn't even.
We were trying to keep to the true shed wars of what we're actually going to eat. So we're like our radishes, we didn't even weigh those as part of it because we didn't eat them. We also couldn't give them away either, so we couldn't count it towards that.
I know. Can you count weight Homestead Aquarius that just becomes chicken food?
Yeah, we weigh our chickens.
We get a lot of radish greens. So
yeah, maybe we'll get some eggs and all this, but so
fishing.
Yeah.
So do you have to catch something for it to count?
That's rude. First off, that's rude. That's very rude. Second off, I have caught a fish.
You have caught a fish
this year. But I usually, when I fish, I don't keep them. I just do like bass fishing for fun. So I probably wouldn't contribute much to the fishing rodeo. But I do want to do some videos of it. I actually just the other day bought a nice fishing rod because my nephew's out here, and so which he's I think hiding.
He's not coming out. He didn't want to make his internet debut. He's 17. He's way too cool for this.
Oh yeah, he's way too cool.
So
that's fine. He doesn't have to, I guess. But yeah, so I want to go do some more fishing here soon. But do you have to keep them, Homestead Aquarius, or I mean, I just throw them back. So again, I don't. I mean, if I needed to keep them, I would, but I really don't need to. I don't really eat, largemouth bass or anything like that. So
yeah, because you don't catch them. They don't sell them in the store.
That's okay. He
did catch one though.
I did catch one.
He caught one.
Yeah.
He sent me a picture of like a strange hand holding a fish. So
I haven't been fishing in this area at all. So we again just moved here, I guess, a year and a half ago or whatever. And so I finally ventured out, found several lakes, and I've just been trying to find good spots. And I really haven't found many. But I'm also not really heavily fishing the areas. I'm just kind of, throwing it out there. And if I can get an immediate hit, I move on. But I'm starting to settle down on some spots, and I'll start catching more fishing. It's just been a while, honestly, since I've even been fishing. So getting the right lures and stuff is a big deal too.
Yeah, well, you got them all now, right?
I got a few. I've got a few. But we'll see. I will have to record some of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how I'm going to do all that.
Can't read it.
Okay. individual species records, catch and release. Yeah, I need to find some good places around here.
You have like 5 lakes around us.
Yeah, but they don't have good fish.
We need to go to the other one.
I need to find some old man who's got a pond.
There's old men everywhere. There
I
is an
know.
old man that told you where to go.
Yeah, no, but he told me to go down to the river.
Well, maybe
Yeah, which
he
is
knows.
no. I need to find in some guy's backyard something that hasn't been
Some guy's
fished for
backyard.
25 years, but's been stocked every year.
Every year.
And he's got 17-pound bass in there. You know, that's what I need to find.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5-acre pond he's got.
I don't think your fishing pole could handle that much weight.
Oh, it could. It could. Although I probably would need to get some stronger line on there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not doing any major fishing up here. God, I need to though. Anyways.
Didn't you get your lifetime fishing license?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Freshwater.
So you're good forever. I'm gonna lean forward to read.
Yeah. My uncle had a house that he rented from a guy, and on that property they had just a lake, and it had tons of carp in it, but it had some of the best largemouth bass fishing I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, you could throw anything in there, and you would come out with a 6-7 pound largemouth bass out of that thing. It was crazy. Just every time you threw it in, you were pulling one out. So I had one time where I threw this fake worm in. Something bit the tail off of it. I threw it back in the same spot. It bit it up to the hook. I said, I'll throw it back in again. Threw it back in again, and I caught the thing.
Jeez. It's a dumb fish.
He was a hungry fish, is what he was.
Give you a false sense of accomplishment.
I did a lot of fishing, man. That was that summer I spent up there. I did so much fishing. But then you become an adult, and you have responsibilities.
So you do.
And then you get to an age where you say, I give up on those responsibilities, and now I want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back
to all the fun stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the first 8 years of knowing you hadn't gone fishing once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't been fishing a long time.
And then I was the one that got you to go fishing the first time with me. Yeah. With Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that had been, yeah, that's true.
You had to go buy all new stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't. I moved up here I've probably been fishing 4 times in the last 20 years.
You're doing a good job, babe.
It's a horrible life.
You're great at growing okra, so you got that.
I wonder if I could use okra to catch fish.
You might try. Slimy.
That's right. That's exactly right. Although I still have mortgages and taxes and grass mowing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to get the other 2 in there. Now I have a place to hunt. I just haven't done it yet. Because there's always something else to do. But
yeah, do we get to count the deer meat that people bring us that was harvested off our land?
yeah.
Because that's happening.
Yeah, other people hunt forests.
not in this moment, but every year.
Yeah, we have a hunt club next to us, and I guess good news overall is they like to run their dogs across our land, but they'll bring us deer meat if they kill something. So and they weren't stingy with it either.
Mm-mm.
So
That's too much.
yeah. So there's, I guess, a positive in the apocalypse. They'd be like, yeah, come on over.
Mm-hmm. I guess
Feed
you
us.
probably learn how to hunt.
Yeah, I need better guns. I don't have any real good hunting guns. That's my problem.
It will kill.
I mean, I could kill a deer for sure. Maybe not ethically, but I could kill a deer with what I got. I need to go out there and hunt it down with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do everything. We pull our weeds by hand, you know.
That's right.
I should hunt by hand.
Yeah, caveman style.
Yeah. We're going back in time.
Whittle you a club.
The original homesteading. Cavemen.
Cave studying.
Cave studying. You had to sneak up, let the deer walk over you,
Mm-hmm.
snatch it.
Snatch it.
I can do that. Oh, this deer, as dumb as they are around
They're
here.
so dumb. All you had to do is sit in that apple tree.
Yep.
When they
walk
come
right
eat
up
an
to 'em.
apple, you just reach out and grab its antler. That dumb one that only has one antler out there.
Maybe I'll record that.
Sitting out in the apple tree.
Wrestling deer by hand. They're young deer, so I could take them, I
Mm-hmm.
think, without getting hurt too
Yeah.
bad.
So that tree right there is our apple tree. And we don't eat much of them because they're just little
Well,
apples. They're
Crab
not,
apples, June
yeah.
apples, yeah.
But every day there's deer out there just eating them up. So we're just getting them fat.
Yeah,
Getting
we're
them
feeding
fat
them,
for the winter.
sweetening them up.
Yeah. Extra sweet.
Uh,
That's why we need pigs. We feed the apples to pigs.
Yeah, we need a lot of things. You know, we need more than pigs.
Yep. What do you think we're
A
going to get
skid
next?
steer.
A skid steer is not going to eat the apples.
That's the kind of steer. That's the kind of animal we're looking for. Is a skid steer. So, hey, who says I'm going to the hospital? I'm not taking the deer to the hospital. I'll tell you that much. No, ye of little faith.
Why you always show the strong arm?
Because this is the arm I'm going to choke it out with. I'm not going to do anything with this one. I'll tickle it with this one. That's about it. This is my weed pulling arm.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of arm wrestling and I enjoy it, but it's funny, as I was picking weeds, I was sitting there thinking, but this would be a great arm wrestling exercise.
Practice
because
your
you pull
finger
that
strength.
pinky.
Yeah. You would think that we'd have weeds figured out after last year. We still made some horrible mistakes.
The weeds are pretty smart. So we have what do we figure is called quack grass? Is that what we figured that stuff is called?
Quack grass.
So quack grass is unfortunate because it will it can actually grow back from the roots, and it's not an annual, it's perennial. And so it is really hard to get rid of it because you have to get rid of all the roots in the ground. So we can't get rid of all the roots in the ground. We know we can't. So we're going to just deal with it for years until we've got a good enough base there. And the stuff can grow out with no ground. It can keep growing sideways up to like 4 feet.
Yeah.
So
over and across all of our covered walkways and everything. I was pulling it yesterday, and I was thinking that I was pulling from ground, and I realized it was still the walkway for like that much. It was just growing along. Yeah, the weed fabric is the walkway. So
yeah. So, but it's okay. It's life. You know.
I feel like every year the garden teaches you a lesson.
Several lessons.
At least, right? So every year there's a lesson to be learned in your garden. At least one. And this year it was, do not leave any space between your weed fabric.
Yeah, I did.
Not even half an inch.
Yeah, because we'll have a half an inch this wide, and that grass will grow 4 foot tall and 3 foot out from a little piece of dirt like that. It actually, when we put the stakes through, where the stakes grew, grass this big coming out of just the hole of the little
weed fabric
pinhole
staples.
of the stake. The landscaping staples, and I mean it's constant, but that's right. We do got to quit being cheap.
We were dumb. We were just dumb. We were optimistic because we were laying that stuff in like March and April, where there was not a weed in the ground, and it was just beautiful bare dirt that we had tilled and flattened out and made our little rows with, and we're like, this is gonna be great. Not an issue at all. And we screwed up. So,
But we've done good
but
at
we learned.
keeping one or two of the beds clean, and
And it's really only like 7-8 rows that are like that, but it has cost us like 80% of our time in the garden has been just dealing with that because we can't get through, and then it's grown up so much that it grows into the plants. So
I will say we've done better with bugs this year in
much
general.
better.
Last year, you want to see us lean forward?
No, it's probably better. You probably can actually see your
probably.
faces.
Yeah, I don't know. But
He's
last
saying
year,
that every time we said something, I'm like, lean forward. Here we go.
yeah, last year we had pretty bad squash bugs, pretty bad cucumber beetles too. This year, the cucumber beetles really haven't been that bad, and we've been able to maintain them. But I think they've been spreading more disease because we've had a lot of disease problems with squash and pumpkins. But we probably introduced a few new animals this year, new insects with our kale, because we got some new beetles that are related to stink bugs on that. I can't remember the name of it.
He's asking about our zucchini. So I think you came on after we talked about our zucchini. So this year, after the last frost, we did our, it's a 40-foot row of zucchini. So I think there's like 10 plants on there. All grew up, got beautiful, and then they started dying one by one. We had, I think, 2 or 3 zucchini plants that lived long enough to give us fruit or vegetables. So I think we got like 10 pounds of zucchini, and then after that they died off. So it's either a combination of too much squash bug pressure or the disease that cucumber beetles spread.
Yeah, what was interesting is I'm not sure if it was that or not, because what ended up happening is either it was super heavy squash bug, but I didn't see that many squash bugs.
That's why I think it's the cucumber beetles.
But it rotted off at the base. So,
but there wasn't any vine borers because we checked that.
Yeah, there's no vine borers, but it rotted off right at the base. So I'm not sure if it wasn't something in the soil, some sort of fungus or something that got to it at the base.
No, but we've replanted it. We've got squash that's giving us vegetables right now, and then zucchini hopefully will be up again soon. Yeah. So we're honestly, it's okay.
Yeah, we're fine with it.
We're gonna take a slow and steady approach to squash and zucchini. Yeah. I still have frozen squash and zucchini up to my eyeballs, so
yeah, I think we'll be all right if
we're not gonna grow it just for weight's sake. So
yeah, the way we're looking at our garden and the way I think you have to look at a garden is whatever works, great. If it doesn't work, that's okay too. There's a reason why we plant so much too, is so that even if we lose, we were kind of stressed out because we were losing a lot of pumpkin plants. But if you looked at that plot now, you couldn't tell that any plants died really because it's so full.
Yeah,
because
I think
we planted
pulled like 10 plants out of there.
Yeah, but you can't tell.
There's no gaps, so.
Yeah, you just plant more than you need, and then you get enough. We've had a few tomato plants that have died from a mysterious disease.
Yeah.
Where they just
they're all the same
yellow and
the same brand or the same variety, whatever it is. So it's fine. There's 40 other tomato plants, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on that.
You've got good years and bad years for things, and
like you said, Homestead Aquarius. It seems like you hear people say last year was a good year for peppers, right? And everyone's like, yes. And you wonder what is it that is in that year that no matter where you are, peppers just decided it was a great year.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'd much rather have a good potato and tomato year than a good squash year.
Oh yeah.
That's totally fine with me.
Yeah, I like squash and zucchini, but I can get sick of squash and zucchini too. Squash and zucchini are one of the most prolific plants to ever exist on the face of the planet. It's a miracle, honestly. I don't.
Percentage. After this year virtually all fruit and vegetable. All vegetable.
All vegetable, yeah.
Yeah, all vegetable.
Well, it depends on what you call fruit.
Fruit, right? And then I'm trying to venture in, like, including potato things. And then I'm trying to make sure that, or work on let me make sure I say this right. I'm trying to work on all of the different things that I can make that I don't have to buy from the grocery store. So if I can make sloppy Joe mix from our tomatoes, then I'll do that. If I can make ketchup from our tomatoes and we like it, then I'll do that.
Yep.
So everything that I can knock off our regularly purchased list, we'll take off of there. You know, once these chickens start laying, we've got 18 chickens and 2 of us. It's going to replace all of our eggs that we normally buy, plus extra, because we're of course going to eat extra eggs now. So
yeah, we eat a lot of eggs as is, but I think if literally,
Danny, you haven't gotten in the hammock yet this year.
I try to, I probably could, but I'm afraid of it because last year when I hurt my back, it hurt so bad to lay in a hammock. I just
he looks at it and just winces.
Maybe his little PTSD from hammocks from last year.
Hammock time. This is a great time for hammock time.
It is a great time for hammock time.
There's a lot of things to talk about.
Well, yeah. I don't know how much we talk about stuff on this channel.
Yeah.
We try to keep it I don't know. We have opinions on things, and but that's not what we're here for. But I agree. And the closest I got was that one hammock time where I was like, what happens if the grocery store doesn't have food?
Yeah.
And then I said that'll never happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll see. They'll do something about that. I said, right?
Hello, Cosmic Cultivators. Hello. Thank you. All right. Well, you are welcome to stay on if you'd like.
I'll stay on.
I have not been in the garden yet today, and I have seedlings that have to be watered.
She's got to go do work
today. I've got 150 sunflower seedlings out there, and basil and cucumbers that have to get water.
You should get that taken care of.
I know, and I've got not much more light left just so.
I don't know why you're sitting here.
It's good to see you all. Have fun.
I will.
Bye-bye.
I'll stay a little bit longer.
I knew you would.
We got to keep this going until dark. But yeah, it's funny because Amy she made some potato salad today because we're making everything potato. And, I was asking, I was like, what ingredients are in here that we don't have today that we couldn't make ourselves? And, we could probably grow some mustard seeds and, we're not going to source our own salt and pepper. But eggs, we could make our own mayonnaise. We probably need some oils and stuff, but, I really do want to get to a point where we can say that, at least for a full day, I ate nothing but things that were sourced from here, minus maybe some seasonings. And if we can get some seasonings, that would be great too. But right now, it's funny because if I did a percentage, I'd say, oh yeah, we can do 50% because most of what we're eating are potatoes. So since we're making potatoes, yeah, and I make my own pepper flakes, which I basically replace with regular pepper anyway. So I could probably do that if I just, this is kind of gross, but if I just wash this half, I could probably get enough salt out of it to season some stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, I was thinking about that, ways you could actually harvest salt. What else did we grow? That's right, deep storage. Got a little bit of a storm rolling in over us, so I may end up running. I'll show you guys the clouds here because it doesn't look so bad behind us, but that's rolling in here, although it feels great. I can feel the inflow air going into it. That's right. Yeah, I could probably run my truck a little bit off with it, just the grease in this hat right here. If I could just squeeze it out. Yeah, it's a pretty tall cloud, not gonna lie. But it's already kind of past us anyway. So this hat, this is my Haas Tools hat that I got from Greg himself when I went to the Homesteaders Conference last year in Virginia. And so it's getting darker and darker, and I call this my my sweat meter as to how much work I've done in the garden. The darker this is, the higher up it goes, is the more sweat. This hat's been through it. It's been through some stuff this year. But the other thing I'm doing too this year, different from last year, is I'm not killing myself. Last year, I did way too much stuff, and that's why I hurt my back. But I'm not doing that this year. I'm not going to hurt myself. If things get too crazy, they just get crazy. That's life. Because last year when I was out for 6 months, I wasn't any good. So far this year, my back feels fine. No issues. So at least not with my back. There's always something. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's probably about it. I may go ahead and let you guys go, but we figured we'd jump on here. We haven't done a live stream in forever. And so we figured we had, we hit 300 subscribers as a milestone. So we figured we might as well go ahead and do a live stream. And, we're going to put out some more videos here soon. We put out some potato videos because last year we got a little bit yelled at for not showing us picking enough potatoes. I say yelled at. Somebody just commented that they enjoyed it. But so this year we put out 2 30-minute long videos of just picking potatoes. So if you enjoyed that stuff, go watch our potato picking videos. But all right, guys, y'all take it easy. And, we'll see you guys on the other side. We appreciate you guys stopping by. And, look for more to come as we're really going to start picking up production in the garden here. So this is the season. 'Tis the season. And I may get some fishing in there too, Homestead Aquarius. We'll see. I'm going to try to do something. All right. Y'all take it easy. I'll see you on the other side. Good, great minds. All right. The storm's blowing in.